Hi guys, Alec, Peirce Tech Tips again, Scuba Tech Tips here at Simcoe Diving, Barrie, Ontario. Great little dive shop. It's snowing outside. There must be 6 or 8 inches of snow out there, but we still dive. Yeah, we're northern divers. We're not wimps from the Caribbean or South Pacific. No way, man, we dive. Oh yeah, we dive all year up here. Well, a lot of us do anyway. I sure did. Lots and lots of ice diving. Okay, so the topic today is the result of a couple of questions from some of our readers. Thank you very much. I love the comments. Keep them coming. Make comments, even if they're silly comments. I'm used to them. Anyway, make comments. And this fellow asked, listen, I see a really, really good BCN regulator advertised on Kijiji. Should I buy it? Can I get it fixed? Is it going to be safe? Well, you know, it's like buying a used car. I can't answer that question. Depends on the year and the make and the model and does it run and the tires and so many things. Scuba gear is a little bit the same. But I would not say to somebody, don't ever buy scuba gear used. No, that's not the case. There's lots of scuba gear that you can buy used. People are getting out of the sport. They've only tried it and maybe used the gear 2 or 3 times, or it was given to them, it was wrong, whatever. There's lots of reasons why people might sell scuba equipment that might be extremely good at a good price. So I'm not saying don't buy used gear. I'm just saying be sensible. Check it out first. Let's deal with the easy one first, and that's the regulator. Should you buy a used regulator? Well, now here's a really, really nice, clean Decor Aero regulator. It looks to be in beautiful shape. First stage is spotless. Never been used in salt water, obviously. No scratches on it. It looks really nice. It's even got a safe second. Has no gauge on it. That's quite normal. So put a gauge on it if you need to. Nice art. It looks really, really good. It looks like a good deal. And the seller only wants $250 for it. Well, now this would be a comparable regulator today would be $1,000. So $250, no tax. Sounds like a great deal. Should you buy this? No. Shouldn't. Don't even look at it. Why? You can't get parts. Because the specific make, Decor. Unfortunately, a good many, Decor was a big company. Very popular. I sold and used Decor for years. They were among my favorite regulators. And there were great thousands made, hundreds and thousands of divers around the world used Decor. Fantastic gear. But a good many years ago, the company was purchased by another large scuba company, and very slowly, over a period of a decade, roughly, all the equipment, all the Decor equipment disappeared. The company that owned them took some of their ideas, some of their products, and their customers' lists, and a lot of other things that they felt were valuable, and kept them and used them. But no, the gear has disappeared, and all the equipment, all the spare parts and everything were sold off. And they've pretty much all been used up and gone. I'm personal friends with a chap who was the parts manager at Decor at the time, and he purchased an awful lot of the used parts. And I actually have purchased over the years some Decor parts from him, service kits and so on from him to service regulators. But that source is pretty much dried up. He has very little left. And he kind of hoards it, I suppose is the word. Sells it to friends and people he knows only. So bottom line is no, you don't buy Decor. Now how would you know that? It's a good price, a nice looking ray. Ah, sure, it's worth $250. Will you take $200 for it? $225. Okay, here, $220. You just wasted $225 because you can't get it working. Almost guaranteed the first stage seat is gone. Definitely none of them left around. The second stage you can probably fix up because the low pressure seat in there is universal. You can pick them up almost any dive store. It doesn't have to be Decor. But no, it's not a good one. How do you know that? There's only one way you know that, and it's to speak to somebody knowledgeable. And that person is usually located at your local dive store. So what you do, if you see something and you, hey, this is a good buy. This would be good, I could use this, it'd be nice to have my own gear, give it a try, or maybe you're buying it for a friend or a relative or one of your kids maybe. And you see what seems to be a really good deal, you check the prices, everything looks really, really good. You check the sizes, yes, it fits. Then what you do is you say to the chap, all right, it looks really good, but unfortunately, since I'm going to be scuba diving with this, which is, as you know, a very important sport, to make sure the gear is working properly and is safe, I really need to take it to an expert. And so if I was buying a used car, I would take it to my mechanic. If I was buying a house, I would get a house inspector. So it's the same with the scuba gear. I really need to take it to an expert at the local dive store. I hope you don't mind. How can we do that? Can I meet you there with the gear? Can I give you a deposit and take it and bring it back to you? If it's not good, work out some kind of a deal. Get the equipment to your local dive store. Buoyancy compensators. That's the other part of scuba gear that people tend to look at. The buoyancy compensator, because these are not inexpensive anymore. A buoyancy compensator is anywhere from $500 to $1,000 for a half-decent BC these days. And it's pretty straightforward. This one holds air. I blew it up hard. It stays hard. You know, a BC does not stay hard indefinitely. Over a period of a day, it will go soft. But for 3 to 4 hours, it should stay quite hard when you blow it up. There's a good sign right there. The band is in pretty good shape. Everything looks good. It has been used. You can tell it's been used a bit. Just look at the straps. You see the straps are brown. They're supposed to be black. For some reason, this webbing material, this very stiff, hard webbing material, doesn't take the dye very well. And every buoyancy compensator I've ever seen, over a period of time, the straps turn to this brown color. It's not a nice color, but it's not a bad color. Other than that, this BC looks really good. The power inflator works, and critical, absolutely critical. When you're looking at a used BC, make sure the whistle works. So, is this a good buy or is it not a good buy? Well, you know, first of all, yes, it can be a really good buy if this is cheap enough. Buoyancy compensators, by their very used BCs, by their very nature, are usually a pretty good buy, because you're buying a material. It's like buying a pair of jeans. You know, jeans now are $100. If you can buy a pair of good jeans, look nice, fit well, good shape, for $20, that's a good buy. Same with BC. This BC, brand spanking new, when it was new, was $500. If you can buy this for $200, $175, it's a good buy. If it's in good shape, you've done all the things that I've suggested. Blow it up hard, make sure it stays hard for a good length of time. Just check the power inflator, and then you can take it to your local dive store. He will clean it thoroughly, replace the rubber in here, clean the valve in here, probably for $30 or $40. You'll have a completely serviced, you have a good BC. It is important that it fits and it's the right size. If you are a medium, and this is an extra large, but it's really, really cheap, don't buy it. That's not going to be safe to use. You need to have the right size BC, so make sure it's the right size. But other than that, a good, fairly new, used BC in nice condition that holds its air and works well is a good buy. So there you go. A couple of tips buying used gear. I thought I'd mention that just now because there's a lot of used gear on the market. This is through the winter months, getting into the spring, and this is the time of year when divers through the winter, of course, you know, somebody in the household says, "Hey, dear, scuba gear downstairs takes up a lot of space. Why don't you get rid of it?" Or maybe it's springtime and the owner says, "You know, I want to do more scuba diving this year. I'm going to get some new gear, so I'm going to sell this, clean it up, and sell it." And so you can get some really good buys. But you just need common sense. So regulator, very important. Call your local dive store. Now be very, very careful, by the way. If the equipment you're looking at is old, you need to speak to a dive store owner who's been around for a while. And also, be careful of branding. So if you have a U.S. diver's piece of equipment that you're looking to purchase, and you call a dive store owner who doesn't like, doesn't sell, doesn't offer, doesn't stock U.S. divers gear, his response is not going to be very favorable. It may be, in fact, a little bit biased. So don't be afraid to call a couple of dive stores. In fact, what you can call is very simple. Do you folks sell U.S. divers equipment? "Oh yes, we think it's great gear." "Okay, good. I have a chance to buy a good used," and on you go. Yes, you do it that way. Common sense. I hope there's some ideas in there that help you a little bit to save some money maybe, make sure your diving is safer, a little less expensive, and a lot more fun. I hope so. Alec Peirce, Scuba Tech Tips. More ideas coming. Take care. Bye-bye. Get the equipment to your local dive store. I knew that was coming. That's why I stopped. In case you were wondering why there was such a long pause there. I thought I
could see the nose going.
I thought I made that little bit of editing easy for you.